Week 3 is already here in the Texas high school football playoffs, and I can't believe it, y'all. It seems like yesterday that I was in Carthage or Kilgore covering Carthage versus Kilgore week 1 of the season. These are my week 3 picks. Weeks 1 and 2, I know I didn't post them. My grandmother passed away at the end of the regular season, so I missed a lot of football, missed a lot of posting because of that. Hey, we know she's in a better place right now. We have that hope, and we know that death has been defeated, and there's nowhere she would want me right now other than right here talking about Texas high school sports. She loved my content. She supported everything I did and watched all my videos. Well, I appreciate you guys supporting me through those hard times. You know, there's about 275 social media calls. You guys followers, I call you guys friends. And that's the reason I started this, is just to have some friends to talk about high school football with. So there's a bunch of y'all. Let's get to our picks. We're not going to keep y'all waiting. So let's start off in 6A Division 1. North Crowley versus Coppell. I've got North Crowley winning this. However, I do believe it will be close. Permian versus Allen. This one will be close too. This Permian team has 10 or 11 wins now, and they've only got one loss this season. They've looked good. It's a senior-led team. I do think they will give Allen a hard time at first, but Allen eventually pulls away from them. I've got Allen going deep into the playoffs. That's why. Duncanville versus Klein Collins. Klein Collins is having a heck of a year down there. Only a one-loss team, maybe two-loss. I believe one. I don't have it on me right now. But I do think Duncanville has found themselves and is a different team than that team that lost to Waxahachie. And we could see Duncanville back in the state championship. Not that I have them picked, but it's very possible. I've got Duncanville advancing over Klein Collins. Waxahachie versus Cy Ranch. They're also a 1-2 loss team. They're really good this year. They've had a great season so far. I think they're a 1-2 loss team. I could be wrong. Waxahachie, however, their only loss is to DeSoto, and they got beat by DeSoto pretty bad, but they beat Duncanville. I've got Waxahachie winning this matchup against Cy Ranch. Cy Falls versus North Shore. I've got North Shore winning this one. I hate to tell y'all this. I think they may be finding their footing as well. Scary to think about Duncanville versus North Shore matchup again, but it could happen. Drake Jesuit versus Dickinson. I've got Dickinson winning this one against Drake Jesuit. I think Dickinson is a state championship contender. Lake Travis versus Laredo United down there in the valley. I got Lake Travis advancing over Laredo United. The Cavaliers defense will just be too much. Byron Nelson versus Denton Geyer in 6A Division 2. Byron Nelson has had a great year this year. They're in a tough conference with Southlake. I believe they've lost 2 games to Southlake and somebody else. They've had a heck of a season, maybe 3 games. They've had a heck of a season. However, Denton Geyer, they could shock a lot of people in this division right here because they're really good. They found their quarterback. I've got Denton Geyer advancing over Byron. Southlake versus Prosper. This is a stud of a matchup, y'all. We'll be at this game. I cannot wait to see these two teams play. I have not covered either of them this year. I have waited till this time right here to watch both of them play. I've got Prosper winning. Here's why. Because Prosper is mad. They feel like they should have won that game versus Allen, and you could definitely say that. They got beat by Allen 31-30. This Prosper team is legit. They have had great wins all year. They have played in a decent district where they have gotten wins, and they've had a great non-district schedule as well, and they have flown by it with flying colors. So give me Prosper right here. Their offensive line stands out. They're able to control Southlake's defense. Prosper gets the win. DeSoto versus College Park. DeSoto, their only loss this year. They've got 2, I believe. No, 1. And it's to that team up in Georgia. However, maybe Duncanville. I believe Duncanville beat them too. But DeSoto is facing College Park. I like this College Park team. They're undefeated, but I do think DeSoto is finding their footing this late in the season. Give me DeSoto over College Park. Forney versus Willis. I've got Willis defeating Forney. Katy versus Summer Creek. 5 years ago, I'd have told you Katy, but I'm going with Summer Creek. I think the Bulldogs will continue their deep run into the playoffs. Katy Jordan versus C.E. King. I've got C.E. King right here. Them and Summer Creek look really good. Give me C.E. King. Vandegrift versus San Marcos. I've got Vandy here. You're defending 6A Division 2 state champions. They get the win over San Marcos. Dripping Springs versus Medina Valley. I've got Dripping Springs here. I think they continue their deep run into the playoffs. This Dripping Springs team, well, they look good. They really play Lake Travis hard. They came second in that district. They beat Westlake. They look really good. In 5A Division 1, Aledo versus Arlington Heights. Arlington Heights has had a historic season. However, I've got Aledo winning this matchup. I think the Bearcats will be too physical and too athletic for Arlington Heights to keep up. Denton Ryan versus Richland. Richland had a great game last year. I've got Denton Ryan winning this. We'll have a matchup with Aledo afterwards. this is the case. Wakeland versus Highland Park. Wakeland has had a great season. I believe they're only a one-loss team. That was a Lone Star. But I've got the Scots winning this one. I think their discipline will be too much for Wakeland. Give me the Scots. West Mesquite versus Lone Star. I got Lone Star. They'll be too much for West Mesquite. Give me the Rangers. College Station versus Port Arthur Memorial. Memorial is undefeated, y'all. They have had a great season this year. I think College Station is playing really well right now. Very scary right now. Give me College Station advancing over Port Arthur Memorial. Big upset in the playoffs. Barbers Hill versus Pflugerville Weiss. I got Pflugerville Weiss. They've had a great season this year. Give me them advancing over Barbers Hill. We got another district rivalry matchup right here. San Antonio Piper versus Smithson Valley. I've got the defending state champions defeating Piper right here. Give me Smithson Valley. New Braunfels versus Bernie Champion. I've got New Braunfels advancing over Bernie Champion right here. In 5A Division 2, Argyle versus Walnut Grove. Give me Walnut Grove advancing against Argyle. Anna versus Melissa, another district matchup right here late in the playoffs. I've got Melissa beating Anna. I think the Cardinals are very physical up front. They get the win over Anna right here. Terrell versus South Oak Cliff. I like this Terrell team a lot, but I think South Oak Cliff is playing with a chip on their shoulder. They've lost the state 3 times, I believe, or 2 times in a row. I've got South Oak Cliff beating Terrell because they want that state championship this year. PNG versus Midlothian Heritage. Midlothian Heritage has been a very consistent team in the playoffs. However, I've got PNG winning this matchup. Their offensive line up front and their great defense with that run game, I think it'll be too much for Midlothian Heritage. Give me PNG. Iowa Colony versus Brenham. Brenham has had a historic season this year, but Iowa Colony, I think they get this win just because they'll be the more physical team. Give me Iowa Colony. Bastrop versus Richmond Randall. I like this Bastrop team. I like their offense, but I think Richmond Randall, they're the most complete team in Texas high school football. One of the most, at least. I think they get the win over Bastrop. Give me Richmond Randall. Alamo Heights versus Victoria West. Give me Alamo Heights in this matchup. And Gregory Portland versus Bernie. I've got Bernie winning this matchup against Gregory Portland. In 4A Division 1, Stephenville versus Randall. I think the Yellow Jackets are playing for more this year. I think they're mad about what happened last year. Give me Stephenville advancing over Randall. West Plains versus Canyon. I got West Plains winning this matchup against their rival, Canyon. Decatur versus Salina. Salina fans, don't let this scare y'all, but I do think y'all win, but it will be too close for comfort for y'all. I've got Salina beating a tough Decatur team. Alvarado versus Springtown, 2 undefeated teams. Alvarado picked up where they left off last year. Even after losing their star quarterback, they're undefeated again. Then you got Springtown. Man, what a heck of a year they've had. One of the best in the Porcupines history. I've got the Porcupines winning this matchup over Alvarado. Their quarterback's playing lights out right now, and just their offense and defense seems to be ticking at the right time. Bridge City versus Kilgore. What a year the Cardinals have had, advancing to the 3rd round of the playoffs. However, Kilgore, I feel like we have forgot about them. I feel like they feel forgotten about, and they're playing for a lot more. Give me Kilgore winning this matchup over Bridge City. Fort Bend Crawford versus Longview Pine Tree. Longview Pine Tree has really found their stride here late in the season, but Fort Bend Crawford, I feel like will be too much for Pine Tree. Give me Fort Bend Crawford right here. San Antonio Davenport versus Bay City. This will be a fun one to watch. I've got Davenport winning this matchup against the Bay City Black Cats. Give me the Wolves right here. Cal Allen versus Lavernia, I think is a game that we need to have on our radar. This Lavernia team, their only loss was to Cuero, y'all. I feel like we have forgotten about them, but our goal is to not forget about them because they're going to make sure they're not forgotten about this week. And when they win versus Cal Allen, give me Lavernia right here. In 4A Division 2, Seminole versus Brock. I got Brock right here. They just keep putting out these great teams. Give me Brock over Seminole. Graham versus Midland Greenwood. Midland Greenwood has had a heck of a season this year. I know they're proud of what they've done over there. Graham has caught fire at the right time, and they're playing very well here in round 3. Give me Graham getting the upset over Midland Greenwood right here. Sunnyvale versus Athens. You want to watch an offensive game? You need to watch this one right here. I've got Sunnyvale beating Athens. I think Sunnyvale's defense will prevail. Sunnyvale, I think they will. Give me Sunnyvale over Athens, right? Carthage versus Pleasant Grove. Man, this Carthage team, they're playing for a lot. You got a lot of seniors on this team that are playing for a state championship. You got Jet Surratt at the offensive helm and his dad. What a duo that is together. They're wanting to make history by getting them another state championship by 2 pitting together. However, this Pleasant Grove team, I feel like they are playing really, really well right now. Their defense looks good. I think their defense will carry them and get them the win over Carthage. They pull off one of the biggest upsets we've seen this year. Give me Pleasant Grove. Sealy versus West Orange Stark. Give me Sealy over West Orange Stark right here. Waco La Vega versus Lamarck. Feel like we're sleeping on Waco La Vega. Remember, they went to state last year, and they gave Carthage a harder time than we kind of thought they would. Carthage ended up pulling away, but let's not forget about La Vega. Give me La Vega in this matchup versus Lamarck. Wimberley versus Sinton. Cannot forget about Wimberley, y'all. They are in the third round of the playoffs for a reason. I do think Sinton will be too much for them. Sinton's only loss was to Cuero, and I believe they lost it by only 1 point. I think Sinton will be too much for the Texans. Give me Sinton advancing over Wimberley. Cuero versus Rockport Fulton. This is Cuero's rematch against their only loss in the regular season. I think Cuero wins it. Cuero looks like a state championship team. Give me the Gobblers winning over Rockport Fulton. In 3A Division 1, Paradise versus Jim Ned. And this Jim Ned team, they just seem to find their way into the playoffs in every sport, just about it. They're just loaded with tradition. This Paradise team, y'all, they look different this year. I watched them play versus Peaster. Give me Paradise winning this one over Jim Ned. Vernon versus Peaster. I believe that is a rematch in district right there. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but I got Peaster winning this one over Vernon. They just keep making history over there. Peaster High School. Grandview versus Commerce. Two teams that have a lot of history find themselves in round 3. I've got Grandview winning this one over Commerce. Pottsboro versus Whitney. Give me Pottsboro right here. Pottsboro looks like a true state championship team. I like Pottsboro to win this. Hardin versus Yoakum. You got Hardin, undefeated, historic regular season, and they're in round 3 of the playoffs. But you got Yoakum. They're playing super well right now. I've got Yoakum getting the upset right here. They had a big win last week. They get another one this week with a win over undefeated Hardin. Columbus versus Franklin. Pure cinema right here, y'all. You got the defending state champs against Franklin, who has been to many state championships. I got Columbus winning this one, y'all. Columbus picks up right where they left off. Give me Columbus right here. Ingram Moore versus Edna. I've got Edna winning this matchup versus Ingram Moore. Goliad versus Llano. Goliad coming off of a volleyball state championship. Their football team will face Llano this week. I've got Llano winning this matchup against Goliad. In 3A Division 2, we got Idalo versus Canadian. I've got Canadian winning this matchup against them. Wall versus Slenton. I'm high on Wall this year, y'all. Give me Wall winning this matchup. Henrietta versus Gunner. This Gunner team isn't going anywhere. I've got Gunner winning this matchup against Henrietta. Blue Ridge versus Leonard. How about them in the playoffs this year? Having a great season, both of those teams. Give me Leonard winning this matchup against Blue Ridge. ARP versus Edgewood. ARP having a great season. Edgewood, they are as well. I've got Edgewood winning this matchup against ARP right here. Newton versus Troop. I cannot wait to see who wins this game. However, I've got Newton pulling off the win right here versus Troop. Tidehaven versus Blanco. Tidehaven looks a team that can get to the state championship. I've got Tidehaven winning this one. Lexington versus East Bernard. Give me Lexington advancing over East Bernard. 2A Division 1, y'all. Cisco versus Spearman. Cisco having a great season so far. Give me Cisco winning over Spearman. New Home versus West Texas. West Texas is having a great year this year. I've got them advancing over New Home. Price Carlisle versus Hamilton. I've got Hamilton winning this matchup against Price Carlisle. D-Line versus Axtell. Give me Axtell winning this matchup. Beckville versus St. Augustine. Give me Beckville winning this matchup right here. Elysian Fields versus Joaquin. Give me Elysian Fields winning this matchup over Joaquin. Mason versus Kennedy. I've got Kennedy winning this matchup over Mason. Furio versus Ganado, a rematch from last year, I believe. I got Refurio defeating the defending state champion. Moving on to round 4. In 2A Division 2, Groover versus Ropes. I've got Ropes winning this one over Groover. Bavina versus Stratford. Give me Stratford winning this one versus Bavina. Munster versus Albany. Give me Munster advancing right here. Lindsay versus Collinsville. I like Collinsville in this matchup. Give me Collinsville over Lindsay. Bremen versus Mark. Give me Bremen winning this one over Mark. Bremen's undefeated. Overton versus Mount Enterprise. What a season Mount Enterprise has had. They're undefeated. I've got Mount Enterprise winning this one over Overton. Iola versus Shiner. Give me Shiner winning this one over Iola. Junction versus Granger. I've got Junction winning this one over Granger. And 1A Division 1, Whiteface versus Rankin. Give me Whiteface in this matchup. Robert Lee versus Water Valley. I've got Water Valley taking this one over Robert Lee. Aquila versus Union Hill. Give me Aquila beating Union Hill. And Gordon versus May, a solid matchup right here. Gordon will be too much for May though. Give me Gordon. And 1A Division 2, Miami versus Klondike. I've got Miami winning this one over Klondike. Benjamin versus Jayton. Give me Jayton winning this matchup over Benjamin. Good matchup though. Strawn versus Thruway. I believe Strawn will win this one over Thruway. And Richland Springs versus Oglesby. Give me Richland Springs in this matchup right here. And that's it, y'all. That is round 3. Thank y'all so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe to my channel. We got a lot of stuff in the description there for you to look at too. Go check that out. Subscribe to my emails and newsletter. It's linked below. And we'll see y'all in the next video. Y'all go watch some football this weekend. Check out my content on my social medias. We'll be updating you all on it. We'll see y'all in the next video.